Hey, what is up everyone? Coach Ashes here, bringing you another VOD review, our second one of 2020. So this one is brought to me by almighty Laxx. He is a streamer for Mazer and he is an aspiring Gears Pro. He reached out to me asking if I could take a look. This VOD consists of a few maps, but I'm probably just going to start with training grounds. And if you guys really enjoyed what you learned in this video, then let me know and I will proceed to do the other maps. By the way, if you want to send me any VODs that you have from your scrims, I'm going to be doing this all month long. So feel free to reach out to me in Twitter DMs with a YouTube link or a Twitch stream link where you streamed your scrims, recorded your scrims and uploaded them. And I will be happy to take a look and break down and do a VOD review. So we're on training grounds. It looks like it's going to be Laxx's team versus I actually recognize Jippery McLeod on the other team. So not sure if these are full teams or if these are pickup teams, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the VOD review. It rhymed. We hear comms a little bit. He also let me know that he put everyone in new spawns based off what he thinks their playstyles fit best. So everyone's adjusting and it can be a little bit chaotic since it's their first night back. So we'll keep that in mind. Again, I'll preface by saying that anything I point out is not meant to be insulting or anything along those lines. It's more meant to be just criticism and helpful and instructive. So it looks like they ran some sort of B strat. One of his players died off the initial. The other team looked to OE, which is a good kind of counterplay. Unfortunately, they didn't execute it well. He made a good adaptation, getting that kill in mid, and he beat his kid by a mile. That guy's sitting in a bad spot. You can't sit on those baby stairs when you know they have B hill controls. So that guy was a little bit lost right there. Let's see what their setup looks like. They have somebody in God spot. That's Namer. They have two people over towards the E hill side of the map. I'd almost like to see them not have two people over towards E. I'd almost rather see them have four people over towards this side of the map, or even three watching this B hill and then one guy kind of floating mid. Having two people push up that far, it kind of makes them be the executable play, and then you can make those picks and then OE off of it. So if they sent four to that side of the map, nobody over here is really going to be able to help. The only thing they could actually do is maybe try to like sneak through mid map and OE. But really, like, that would be the play if I was the other team. I would recognize there's two people over there and be like, okay, we're going to kill those guys. Let's see what they do. Game's going to slow down a little bit. They're doing a good job calling numbers. This guy in Godspot has to be careful. You can't sit there and Lancer too long, but he's watching himself, which is good. Okay, so where the other team's doing what I'm talking about, they took up top control and cleared that out. So they're either going to push to OE off of this or they're going to try to cut to B. We're rotating over a little bit early. So this rotation over, really, if you sit in that tower, you have a better angle and a better point of view to just Lancer out the OE. So if there was two people on this side of the map for his team, right? So if they're sitting like kind of back on the home hill, you can't really get to the home hill through that and through anywhere other than that narrow hallway. You can't stop on the baby stairs because if this guy is sitting up in tower, there's nowhere that they can actually go. So he's wasted a lot of time here and he put himself kind of in a vulnerable spot. He left open mid map. Luckily, they adapted to it pretty quickly and the other team's refusing to execute quickly. So it looks like it might work out for them. These are good crosses. I like this team fire right here. Nobody really pushed up for the Lancer. I mean, for the shotgun kill. Everyone was Lancering. This rotation is bad, though. If he would have stayed in the tower, he would have been Lancering this entire time instead of running over here. It was a 2v2 with a Lancer looking over you. That's a one fight. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day because the round was over. But the other team also took a really long time to make a push. I would like to see them make a play a lot earlier in that round. It's something that, you know, we struggled with for a little while as well, where we'd wait too long to make our play. And then by the time we're making the play, it's almost like a desperation play because they're so close to winning and we have to get these breaks right away. You don't give yourself any cushion for a mistake or a hiccup or something not going according to plan. So let's see what they put down for the weapon placements. Flashes. Okay. They talked about putting down smokes. I like the flashes better, but I would have liked to see the flashes go over here on Monument. Now, it ended up working out. The other team's already made a mistake. And honestly, like, there's no reason that this team should lose now. They're going to have 2 flash grenades extra going into this fight for the drop shot. So that pretty much, I mean, the way the flashes work, that pretty much secures it for you. This is a very interesting strat. Having 3 go mid. That's a very, very interesting strat. And nobody played their tower, so nobody had a really good angle cutting, like, for the people cutting in. I would like to see one of their front spawns get that tower, or maybe like second spawn get that tower, and then have your 4th spawn go into the middle of the map to back up the front spawn going in the middle of the map. Your 5th spawn with his stun going back alley. But it ended up getting punished. What they did. Interesting call. Very interesting call. All right, so they're clearing out up top. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Again, if anybody says anything inappropriate, I apologize. Again, I don't condone foul language, obviously. I mean, I don't give a fuck about a cuss word, but but you guys know what I mean. Any kind of slurs or anything like that.
Let's go. Get the home. Get the home. We got their home. You wasted a drop.
All right. So they've called out he's wasted a drop. That's good. That was a good shot by Laxx. He's playing up a little bit aggressive, but it's fine. This is one of those moments where you can. Good kills. And this is a good rotation to be. I think he's alone though, so this might be a little bit rough. And it's a 1v2. Really, they should just play double homes. He should have just stayed on the enemy team's home, let his team pick up his home off respawn, and then just try to fight that out. If they stack numbers to push for their home, then his teammates who got their own home hill back could have then rotated to B.
Let's go.
All right. This is a pretty good rotation. They gave up too much of this E control, though. I would have liked to see them slow it down a little bit. Maybe even take this, like, this we call a winch control, because it reminds us of Harbor. Take this up top control, though, and use that to defend this push on B that the other team was making. Because Jibbery McLeod was sitting up here, and he actually got it down in a kill with a pistol. So that up top control was pretty influential in that fight.
They're gonna get our home.
All right, so they got drop. That's good. The stream keeps lagging a little bit, so I apologize for that. It just keeps hiccuping a little bit. Might be an internet thing. He might need to lower his bit rate a tiny bit, or his settings. He didn't know where the guy was, so that was a little bit reckless. He could have played that a little bit more passively since he had a teammate there. And he has his teammate up here crossing in the tower. I'd say not respawn. One of his teammates already has 0 respawn, so this round is definitely over.
One more. It's one more B.
Don't spawn up. Don't spawn up. Don't spawn up. Smikes, how do you have no lives already, bro?
Yeah, the fact that his teammate has 0 lives. I mean, one of his teammates is confronting him. I don't know who it was saying, "How do you have 0 lives already, bro?" It's definitely a concern 2 rounds in that you have 0 respawns, because now you have to play kind of defensive for the next 2 rounds. Unless you do like a really good job this next round, but the respawns are getting faster, so the likeliness of getting like a really quick 3 cap or a wipe is less and less likely.
Aim as high as you can and aim and look at their tower. It hits every time, bro. Someone just bring a smoke. I'm telling you, it helps like 1,000% pushing up through that mid area.
Can we send the 2 back spawns to work?
Interesting. Another middle weapon placement. So they just took their advantage that they had by the other team having put down a middle weapon placement, and they threw it away by putting down a middle weapon placement themselves. It's a very interesting call. I don't necessarily agree with it unless they really hate this B fight, but the only reason that B fight didn't work out for them is honestly they ran a pretty bad strat. That 3 mid strat and nobody in your tower to look down for you is really rough. He put himself in a bad spot. It looked like they were kind of giving up B control and maybe playing for bow a little bit heavier, so he put himself in a really bad spot and gave them basically a free kill. He could have easily sat back. He could have made picking up the drop shot a lot more difficult by lancering, anything along those lines. But now the other team has B control and a free drop shot. The good news is his teammates have OE'd, and the swarm team is being kind of dumb by overextending into this tower. I'm pointing, like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. I'll use the mouse more. Sorry about that.
He's down. Tree clear. Actually, no, never mind.
I got one up here.
I don't know if that was him.
We just randomly got game sound. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, we have 3 here, Nemo. We have 3. We gotta get him.
Keep marking him. Keep marking him.
What?
Back up. Back up.
That made me nervous. I would have liked to see him melee there, but I'm glad he pulled out a lancer to help. The guy cut back, so. All right, it looks like they might be able to 3-cap this round as long as they take it slow. He missed pretty much every lancer bullet on that guy, but he got the down on the meat shield. Yeah, that's round. Good job. They bounced back from that round. The OE that his teammates made after getting Torpo was huge. He kind of threw the initial by putting him, like, misplacing like his positioning. By pushing up there, he just really put himself into like a situation where it's like he's destined to die, so to speak. So that gave them B control, that gave them drop shot control, which arguably is the better power weapon of the bow drop shot combination. I still really don't agree with the torque bow placement. I definitely don't agree with the retro lancer placement. That means they're probably going to try to build into a sniper. I'm a little bit rusty. It's been 2 months since I've done weapon placements. Or I guess it's been a month. It's been since San Diego that I've done any weapon placements. So, yeah, that upgrades into a sniper, right? But it won't even do that the next round because this is round 4. So they're going to have a retro for 2 rounds. I would like to see them give themselves a second set of stuns because we know that the fight is going to rotate over to the other side of the map. Now, that guy was lost. I don't know why he went for that quick pick. That seemed like bad communication or something. They did give up the torque bow. How did they not get the kill? Okay, somebody else cut through middle. That's why.
One's up and overlook with torque, bro.
This one near our home.
Yeah, every time they start to get a little bit of a lead or make a good play, it's like they're moving too fast, right? So they got that down, and then he went for the torque or the drop shot pickup rather than making sure that his teammate was set. I don't think anybody called the guy cutting through mid. And it seems like his team is like constantly giving up or just losing a fight on one side of the map. Like they've never secured both power weapons. It's always like they do okay on one side and lose the other side.
He's on the square.
Push through the hallway and get into their tower. Okay, good.
We have 2. We just set up.
All right, so they're calling the setup. They have no more drop shots.
Yo, we need one more home side.
I'm rotating back.
All right. So he's got retro lancer. He's got a shotgun. Their setup is kind of, they look a little bit lost. So like he doesn't need to be in God spot right now. And the reason for that is he's got a player playing their back hallway. And he knows that the OE is happening. So really he should be like going to his tower or moving. He could have been moving at least 10 seconds earlier. Jippery choked right there. So he kind of got lucky with that kill. It looks like he's lagging some too. This is a good hero play. Yeah, that's huge. That was a huge play. That honestly, that play right there could probably save him. Now we know one of his teammates, Smek, should be on no respawns, if I remember correctly. I don't know that guy. So that guy, I'm gonna call him Ray. He was playing their back hall. As soon as he saw them spawning and starting to push, he should have backed up. This guy plays on alternate. You can tell because the Y button was to pick up the weapon button. So he should have been backing out. What I'm seeing a lot from both teams is a lot of just free deaths, right? Like players are putting themselves in a spot and watching that spot, but then not reacting to when the map changes. So the team got wiped on the OE. They're going to be respawning. They're going to be probably pushing for B. It's a pretty safe bet. And he left himself in a spot where he's like likely to die. The good news is they have drop shot. They have torque bow. Nobody's watching the east side of the map, so this guy's gotten all the way over here for free. He realistically could probably get a break. Those drop shots were really bad. Now we're in a situation where he gets the break, he gets a kill. This is getting a lot more risky than it needs to be. Yeah, they've thrown this round. Unless somebody clutches up right here, they've thrown this round.
Shit.
They've thrown this round because both power weapons went to pretty much the same spot.
No way.
They were on the two covers that are kind of lined up with the middle of the map.
You know what? That was bad positioning. I should have been in the back spot of the home hill area.
I don't know who's talking, but they're pretty much pointing out the issue that I said. Both people were sitting in this like middle area on this cover and this cover. Those were the two power weapons. Nobody was watching the hallway to E. And so here's what I'm talking about with the weapon placements. Because they put a retro, now they're stuck with a retro for another round, and the retro isn't near the neutral hill. It's still near the drop shot, which is good, but I would have liked to see them have stuns for this fight for the drop shot, and then another set of stuns on the other side of the map to help them with that torque bow. That way you're kind of dividing the utility that you have across the map. You're basically coming out of spawn with 6 stun grenades, and you're in a situation where you can fight at an advantage for both sets of power weapons. That's twice that guy's done that. I don't know if the team's just not communicating well. That hop over cover was really aggressive and unnecessary. It seems like the other team's not communicating well, but they still won that round through elimination. That's why that round ended so abruptly. Everybody on the COG team died.
They said numbers there. I'm a dumbass. I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't thinking straight. That was my fault.
So I'm thinking what's happening is they're sending 2 to B and 3 to torque bow, and torque bow is where the neutral hill is. So basically what I'm seeing is Swarm team, I think, is sending 3 people to this side of the map, and then 2 people to this side of the map. They're getting a free, COG team is getting a free kill on the drop shot because this one dude is just lost every time and trying to quick pick it. But then they're trying to do something too quickly with that advantage. Like that guy was literally head downing them, and he just kind of tunnel visioned and jumped over cover in his face. That's a free kill for him. And the rest of his teammates died already before that. I don't even know how. So I'd like to see him slow it down a little bit. And I didn't see what their weapon placement was. What did they put down? Actually, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. So one team has given themselves stuns and Boltox, and then this team gave themselves more grenades. Again, man, this side weapon placement, put down stuns here. Put down some stuns here. It's 2 stuns compared to the 1 that this guy's going to come out of spawn with now. Yes, it slows down your route a little bit, but it's a pretty easy trade-off because it's not that long, and realistically, it's not your front spawn picking it up. It's your second spawn. That was an interesting choice to have the person with the retro pick up the drop shot rather than the person with the regular Lancer. All right, good communication. I mean, everyone's listening to each other, which is good. I like how much he holds the LB button too. It helps you be really aware. See, this guy Namor is trying. They're calling him Namor, so I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. He's like almost too antsy. Like he couldn't just sit in that spot. He tried to up A to their side. Drop shot should have rotated a long time ago.
You shouldn't push this.
That's okay, I know. This one yellow. Look up top. To your left. Up there. Yeah, you see him.
The drop shot was a little bit high, and I don't think he had an active. So that's why the drop shot's pretty much a waste. It's super easy to dodge.
I got shots on that guy. I got shots.
The overall, like the play here, the OE play is a good play. It's a good adaptation on what was bad off the initial. It didn't work because they didn't get that kid lived for too long. They didn't commit to the kill. They were like both kind of hesitant. The drop shot wasn't active and it was shot a little bit too high, so that was bad. And then like they didn't commit to the shotgun kill, so they ended up just getting pinched and killed. So the OE got shut down. They need to start posturing to make a play though, and what I mean by posturing is start positioning themselves in a position to like actually make a play. Like right now they have 2 people in their tower. He's sitting here for the retro, and then one person sitting like on their first half home hill. So like they're not in position to make any type of play. They're just kind of sitting around safely. All right, looks like they're going to break the setup. He missed his shot because he aimed over cover instead of low cover, like, you know, around. That could have gone cleaner if he waited for his teammate to get there from mid and start applying pressure. but it worked out.
Right now, bro, I'm telling you.
Oh, maybe it didn't work out.
Yeah. We're right on.
I don't know what the respawn situation is looking like. It might be time to give up this round.
Yes.
Yeah, they should be telling their teammates to not respawn. All right.
Alright, they got match.
They have good respawns. They have like a good amount. It's just there's no point. The round's over.
Who won the first map? Was it us?
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. We're still in this map.
I know. That's what I'm worried about.
It's so interesting to me. I feel like there's a tendency in amateur scrims where they do like actual best of threes,
Mid, so
and it matters who wins or who loses the maps. And I don't get that. Pro teams all just play 3 maps, assuming that there's time. We play as many maps as we have time for. We schedule a 2-hour block. We scrim you from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and we play as many maps as we can in that amount of time. Typically it's 3. Now that it's gotten shorter times, first to 5, it's like 4 or 5 maps. But I feel like AM teams do this thing where they like agree to a best of 3, and then if one team 2-0s the other team, then that's a scrim and they go off looking for another scrim. It seems so ineffective. It's such a poorly optimized waste of time that I don't understand. Amateur teams are already behind the curve, and now they're wasting time looking for scrims and egoing teams that they've 2-0'd. There's so many times that we've lost the first 2 maps and then shit on the team the last 3 maps of a scrim. So like, it just doesn't make sense to me. All right, they're running a little bit of a different strat. It looks like they're trying to OE off the rip because they're sending all 5 to this side. What the hell? All right, his stream lagged a little bit. They gave up E-Hill and Torque Bow for absolutely free.
Torque's at overload.
They're going to be down a lot of points. Like a healthy 20 points at least.
Alright. Now wait for numbers. Wait for numbers. Smix, you need to rotate.
So they're down like at least 20, 25 points. It looks like they're posturing for E is good. They're in a position to actually make a play. He can get a drop shot kill here. If he catches an active, he can kill this kid sitting right here. It's a very easy drop. He did an active. And he still got the kill. He shouldn't have gotten the kill.
Got up top.
That was a wasted drop. I'd like to see Laxx work on his drop shots.
Got a kill.
You pretty much always want to catch an active because it makes the missile drop out of the sky faster. So it makes it harder to dodge, and it makes the actual explosion a little bit more damaging, I believe. So it basically makes the gun as strong as it can be.
I'm lancering him. He's weak.
Wait, how does he have 2 drop shots still?
2 in that tower. One
That
no
wasn't
wing
the
on my
one.
mark.
There's another one.
On my mark.
I know.
Two over there.
Didn't he shoot 2 drops? How did he have 2 more?
There's 3 now. 3 on my mark.
Wait,
That's okay.
I
Let him
got
back
one
out.
coming in. One.
That-
Over here.
what happened?
I chose.
Let's go.
How many utilities do we have?
Oh, he has 4 drop shots.
Wait for this first kill. Wait for this first kill.
Okay.
Listen. Wait for this.
Oh, the drop shot got upgraded. Okay. They must have upgraded the drop shot. That's why they sent 5 there. Makes sense.
He's hurt up top.
I wasn't paying attention during the weapon placement.
He's running.
Okay.
Got a kill.
We can go back to where we were.
One on our home. There's 3.
All right, so they got him off their home. He should be capping. There we go.
One coming to E. Anybody can help me at
A
E?
little bit of wasted time there.
Yep, I'm right here.
We need. Listen. Take y'all's time over there.
He's
Tree,
below
get in
me
that
somewhere.
back corner that Ray was telling you about. Get in that back
Oh, yeah,
corner
yep,
over there.
okay.
No.
You ready,
no.
Tree?
I don't know. Get ready.
2
They're
of 'em.
coming.
Get ready.
Yo.
I'm coming.
I'm gonna get a mark.
All right. Setup's not bad. They have 3 over at E. They really don't need 2 people over here. Drop shot could hold this alone if you wanted to, or drop shot. I'd rather see drop shot at the neutral hill, but he's the one in the back who can then rotate back to the home hill and help defend this.
I can't see.
Look at the score.
They do win off 2, but they're setting themselves up to have E broken pretty easily.
Torque's up in 10.
Two push up top,
Take y'all's
push up,
time.
they shoot now,
Lancers
they
and
shoot
pistols. Lancers.
Tree has a really good angle. That up top push is difficult. I'd like to see him pistoling this guy rather than shooting a drop, but
I got my guy.
it works.
I'm grabbing
All right, they should win this round. He's going to get a free drop. He should be able to...
That tower, be careful.
Was that a bull talk?
Cross him, duck across
They
him.
should be able to OE. Is
Yeah, I'm back.
he not going to?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Alright, shit.
I guess the other team's still fighting for this.
Tell me what happened, Tree. Hey, look at that tower.
Where is he?
Oh, wow.
Mark them. He's hurt.
Whoa, what's coming home with?
They're about to push us, Ray. They're about to
2,
push us.
2 EA.
All right, he's got a lot of drops. So this is
You ready?
a pretty impossible retake for
I have my
Swarm.
push, Ray.
Yo, let's go take their
That's exactly why.
Take their fucking home.
We're good. No, we're good.
God, somebody is losing their mind.
4 day right now.
The round's over. This is just for fun. All right,
You're a
cool.
fucking monster. You're a fucking monster.
Alright, guys.
Let's do
Go,
our
Round's
baby.
over.
Please, boys.
All right, so what does that make the score? 4-3?
Bro,
Oh,
put
another
Put those in my hand.
One second.
Put those in my hand.
Jibri has one respawn.
I like that they're talking about the number of respawns. He's not right. The guy Dripri has 2, but that's because he got +1.
We just did. We do it again.
Jamai.
They have the respawn advantage, which is good.
See. Hold on. Let me see. Is this theirs?
Don't disable this round. Please don't disable this round.
They're
See, the other team has instants over at that fight.
big time.
If they just gave themselves stuns, that would make that fight so much differently, go so much. I'm having a stroke. Like it would help influence the fight in their favor, or at least balance the scales a little bit.
Fuck, I have a smoke. Fuck. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna throw
Okay,
smoke
I
on
got-
this
I
thing.
got-
We got 4 playing this way. I'm gonna flank him.
One of y'all needs to keep an eye on the back.
All right, so they sent a lot of people over there. This
I got shots on the bit.
drop must have got disabled.
He's
So
on the flank. Shit. Hey, what's up, Lee?
see, they
Down.
they disabled the ensigns,
I'm here.
but then drop got disabled. So now their power weapon is on a side of the map that's not useful. So that kind of counters their disabling of the ensigns. They still lost the fight over there.
He's hurt.
Yo, I hit whoa.
We got
And-
the break.
Hard. God, bro.
What's the torque, Laxx?
We back out. We back out.
They don't.
Back out. Back out. Back out. We go B. We go E.
Now next round, what happens is they put down,
What's the
you know,
Yo, we have
whatever they put down, and the other team's going to have faster respawning ensigns, or the other team's going to have an extra set of stuns, or something else, because of like the weapon placements that these guys have put down. Then not only did they center line a placement, but they after the other team did, but then they upgraded a center line placement. So like now they're at the disadvantage in weapon placements. That's why the other team has ensigns on their side of the map. It's why the other team has extra utility
Are we looking on home?
that matches these guys extra utility coming out of spawn, and they have a bolt hawk,
He's coming up. He's hurt.
which these guys don't have. So these guys are effectively behind
Back to E boys.
a whole weapon placement. That it's that bolt hawk.
Fucking listen, please.
This fight was very chaotic.
All right, break the hill, Ray. Break the hill, Ray. Break the hill.
Hold on, I'm
Ray.
fighting. I'm fighting. I'm fighting.
No.
The guy with the retro lancer should have been sitting in the hill. All right, they have the hill.
Are we looking on home?
They don't need to be pushing up top at all. Like you can actually just break the hill and then sit on the back of this U and let the other team have up top. We've actually done that before. We've had 4 people or 3 people on the back of the U, and then one person kind of watching like our first half, like sitting near our first half home, and one person sitting in our tower on our second half home, and they've been sitting up top and they've just been stuck. And the hard part is you can't even really sit up top when you do that. Like the back of the U control is more important than the up top control in that situation, because the person sitting in your tower right here where they're fighting can hit the people up top. So he can be annoying and shooting at them. And then if they try to move off to one of the sides, the people in the back of the U can shoot them. And nobody has the hill. Unfortunately, these guys actually have to cap the hill. So, you know,
good shit, tree.
I'm down.
it realistically just, my point is them pushing up top right there cost them. If they win this round,
To get the trip.
I got another one.
Ray, you got one more, Ray. Play your life until I get there. Play your life until I get there. I'm coming right now. You got help. You got help.
I'm breaking. I'm breaking. We got
breaks
one
are
more.
big.
We got one more.
Yo, one more behind
One of them called out that they need the trip cap. They really don't. People forget like how fast you catch up when you have 2 hills and they don't have any. I think the other team's giving up the round. Yeah.
Because that was sporadic, but it worked.
Alright, one more round.
See, the problem is now you're on round what I almost said round 13 out of habit. You're on round 9, right? It's the fastest respawns. But you don't have a disable anymore. And so what's going to happen is they're going to, if you put down,
hallway. Pick up the retro. They don't hop over.
please put down like a stun for you.
What am I playing?
Please put down a stun. Right.
You could put a fucking smoke. Just throw it on there. Hop over.
Where am I playing?
I'm throwing a smoke on their tower.
You're gonna go hallway.
These guys need to go over weapon placements really badly.
Who was the third guy that went hallway?
So they upgraded their retro lancer. The other team upgraded their ensign. The ensign upgrade is actually not bad. They upgraded their retro lancer, so they're still behind a weapon placement. Like that was their chance to catch up. Upgrading the retro lancer to respawn quicker is not going to do you any good.
Go straight for
The retro lancer isn't that strong of a weapon.
Hop over.
go.
Like it's a good weapon, but it's not OP.
Behind you. Focus in front of you.
It doesn't heavily influence a fight like extra stuns could, like a shock grenade could, an M-bar, anything along those lines.
It's one it's one in that spot. They're owing two hallway.
Watch out, watch out.
Their comms are so chaotic. Like I'm feeling pressure and I'm watching the VOD. I can't imagine how they feel.
Yo, who has that? Who has that drop? Rotate over to east side.
Alright, he's two on
Give
the
it to
home side right
Laxx,
now.
just give it to Laxx, give it to Laxx,
Give it to me.
Laxx.
Come here. Look, hey, Ray, wait for the new retro. Wait for the new retro, Ray.
Okay.
Come on.
So he must be their power weapon player. It's surprising too because he's pretty ineffective with the drop shots.
Ray, when you
Their
pick up that
instance.
retro,
I mean, not ineffective. That's not the right word. He's I don't know what the right word would be. He's not as effective as he could be with the drops. I'll say it that way.
I need y'all to play.
It's not that he's bad. He's gotten kills with them that are good, and he's used it well in several instances. It's just there's a lot of ineffectiveness with it that I've noticed. Like that. He got a kill somehow. No active. That one was rough. Like right there, if somebody's head downing you, you shoot it up in the air. It goes, and then you let go of it instantly. It lands closer to you because the travel time is more vertical than horizontal. So it lands like in proximity closer to you. So if the guy's head downing you, he's either going to die to it or he has to roll backwards. And you create that distance that you need when you're playing with the drop. He shot that one way too high. Again, he got a kill that he shouldn't have gotten.
20 seconds until torque is up. 20 seconds until drop is up as well.
I'll cap it.
I'm gonna break their home and dip.
Hey,
I'm
one.
gonna break their home and dip.
Look at my mark. Nate, he's hurt.
I'm rotating over. Yo, Ray, I'm about to help
I
you.
couldn't,
I'm about to help you, Ray.
I need help.
You can pick it up when you get a chance. I'm here.
It's two of
Wait. Let them pick it up. Let them pick it up.
Yeah, I know, but they don't know I'm here.
Back out if they see you. Back out if
Hit him,
they see you.
hit him.
This guy should be pistoling.
No.
Pistol. He's literally just not helping his teammate. He's sitting here waiting for this drop shot kill. That guy, he could have pistoled.
I down one again.
I have to get out.
He cleaned up the down. That was good.
Where's the other one?
Yeah, there should be one more guy. There he is. He was hiding their back alley.
Yo, back out of there. We don't need it no more. Our backpack dropped. Hold E. 38 seconds. Hold E.
We got
That's
the point
play.
lead. Yeah, just hold two. Home.
Hey, pick up their instant. Ease the play. They got E. They got E.
He has his teammates. There are 3 at E, and one of the swarm players got to E and broke it. Am I seeing that right?
More locks.
Hold on. Am I seeing that right?
Hold E. I'm gonna pick it up. Hold E.
We got the.
One. Okay, so Namor's not really at E. These two. This guy looks like he might be more closer to their first half home. He's definitely in like the tower area.
Hey, pick up their instant. Ease the
And E's getting broken. So somebody ran past somebody and broke E hill. Everyone's trying to do so much. This is just like the other amateur team that we watched, Femzi's team. If you didn't see that video, it was uploaded. What's today? Saturday? I think it was uploaded Tuesday. 2 days ago. So no, that was not Tuesday. That was Thursday. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know what day I uploaded it. You guys can check. But did another one of these.
15 seconds we win.
And it felt like every time a team got an advantage or had a good like situation, they tried to do too much to like push and punish and ended up losing.
Boys.
Oh fuck. That scared the fuck out of me, boys. I'm not gonna lie. That actually made me have a heart attack.
Well, they managed to close it out. It wasn't clean by any means, but they somehow did it. I'll give them props for that. He got a few drop kills that had no business getting kills. They weren't actives. They weren't even shot well, like up aiming them rather than aiming it. And but he got the kills. I guess that's what matters. So overall, this team, it seems like the main issues are they would get like an opening kill. This reminds me of the other team. They would get like an opening kill and then they would try to do too much and push it to do something else with that kill rather than just accepting that they got that kill and making a calculated play. So somebody would get a kill, they'd break ice, they'd get that advantage, and then they'd go do something else that would throw that then advantage away. The biggest issue that I saw with this team was their weapon placements. They honestly, the weapon placements were kind of a joke for both teams. The center line placements were really rough. And then upgrading the center line placements was rougher. The blocks being used on round 8 was really odd to me. So I think that these guys need to go over their weapon placements. It's a really easy thing that you can do. You can even do it with your teammates where you just kind of sit in like a little spreadsheet and just take turns doing weapon placements, or even do it like on an overhead view of the map. Waldo, who was one of the spectators and kind of analysts and casters, he's over in COD now, but on his Twitter, he had tweeted out the overhead maps. So if you don't have them, go download them. He did like the hill placements, the weapon placements, and you can kind of practice that with your team. Just divide yourselves into like a group of 2 and a group of 3 or something, and go back and forth doing weapon placements and see who can get the advantage. It's a super easy exercise, but it's definitely something that this team needs to work on, because those weapon placements were really rough. Overall, slow down the pace a little bit, especially with the individual plays. Work on the weapon placements, and then the comms were pretty good. They weren't too bad. I didn't hear too much bitching, which is really good compared to the other team. And again, we're keeping in mind that they're in new spawns, so I think that might forgive some of those opening strats. I definitely think some of those strats when they were playing for the drop shot over on the B side of the map were pretty rough. So maybe reevaluate those, but overall not too bad. They managed to clutch up, so that's good. I mean, they were down what, 4-3 or 4-2, so it's good that they were able to bounce back and stay in it mentally. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of work there for this team to be able to take their game to the next level, and I would start with the weapon placements, because a lot of the struggles that they had probably would have been different if they had a better weapon placement game. So work on that meta, and kind of like that mini game within Gears Esports, and hopefully you guys will start to see some improvements and make these maps a little bit easier, not really a 5-4 where you're down 4-2 or 4-3. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you, again, have a VOD that you want me to take a look at, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. I have all the links down in the description. And make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and I will see you all in the next video.